are listening to the Moms in Business podcast, where we get real about all the things on balancing motherhood and still having a thriving business. It is my goal that you hear from real moms, you hear real stories on mindset, time management strategies, and even the moments of crying in the shower, because we have all been there. I'm your host, Misty Shaheen, life and business coach for moms who want the freedom to live life on their own terms without sacrificing their health or family time. Welcome to the Moms in Business podcast. Today, I'm so excited to introduce to you our speaker, Nike. She is a priority coach. She helps moms in business prioritize their tasks in their business. So I'm so excited to talk with her today about how she got started in her business and how she helps other moms, set their priorities and get focused in their business. Welcome, Nike.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm actually excited to be here because I'm going to be talking about one thing that I love so much, and that's time management.
Awesome. Yeah, we could all be better at time management. I don't think that you ever truly master time management, right?
Sure. Because our circumstances are always changing, right? And especially as moms, 1 minute you're a mom to a newborn, and the next you're a mom to a toddler or a soccer mom, and it's just evolving. So as moms, we have to be very flexible to really allow that. So yeah.
I totally agree. I mean, things are always changing, especially if you have a toddler or a newborn. Like every day could be totally different than the previous day. And, as they get older, they have different challenges and needs from us that, a newborn would need. So it's always evolving. It's always changing. So I'm so excited to talk to you about this today. Could you tell us a little bit about what it is that you do? How did you get started doing this?
Okay. Do you want the long one or the short one? Okay, the short one is I moved to a different country. I used to live in the UK. I moved down to Canada. And at the same year when I moved to Canada, then I had my baby. And then the same year I decided to start a business. So wow. And why I thought it was going to be easy for me was because I used to be a corporate trainer. I trained on time management, on selling, on all those things. And I thought, how hard would it be with a baby? Plus, the baby's going to sleep. She's going to be awake all night. I can work on my business all night. And, I had it all mapped out nicely. So what I was doing in my business was I was helping moms to start their own businesses because I always had a passion for moms. So that was what I was doing. But then I got burnt out at some point, and I had to go back to my training and some research. Like, I have to figure this out because now I'm running a business. I'm in a new country away from family and friends. And then I have a new baby. I have to find that balance. And then when I found the balance, I said, I need to share this with other moms. So that's how I got started with what I'm doing.
Yeah, awesome. So it's so funny, when we start our business, we have a different expectation and then reality truly hits, right? I started my business similar. I had a 2-year-old and I was working in corporate, working in a cubicle, and I was doing accounting, accounts payable, accounts receivable. And I thought, I could just be a virtual assistant and I could do all this from home. And he was 2. I was like, it'll be perfect. I'll just have I'll work while he's napping and, no big deal. And I'll be able to be more present and I'll be able to play with them. And then, reality hit and I ended up not pursuing that VA business at all. And, I went into a completely different business. So.
And I love the fact that you allowed yourself that flexibility. Awesome.
Yeah. So that was, it can be a little bit of a reality check. Yeah. So what are some of the biggest struggles you had when you started that business and also had a newborn?
I think the number one was the time management. Like, I was so hungry. I was very sensitive to, because I was probably even a very little sleep. And it's weird because I feel like as entrepreneurs, even when you're sleeping, your brain is still kind of working on something you need to do the next day. And then I still need to worry about the baby. And it was just a lot. And for me, I had to revisit my goals. I was like, okay, why did I start the business in the first place? The reason why I started the business was some of the things that you mentioned, which is I want to be there, with my babies. I want to build memories with my babies. But right now I am building memories in my business and not with my baby. And I figured that my life was looking like the child was a distraction as opposed to the child being part of what I'm doing. And I just could see like 5, 6, 7 years, or maybe even more than that, where my child might probably look at me and say, your business was your number one. So I had to go back and say, what are my goals? Let's get back to what's important. And let's figure out how we're going to make this day reflect the most important things to me. So,
yeah, that's so important to just know your vision and know your priorities first, before you can get kind of sucked into that day-to-day to-dos.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I always say to moms as much as they can, if you can create like your own family mission statements, like in this family, this is what we do. This is how we do things. Because you know how when you're a mom with a newborn, everybody has great suggestions for you. Like you walk into the grocery store, someone has a suggestion like, hey, why don't you carry your baby this way? Or why don't you do that way? And sometimes you just get so confused. And if you look on the internet, that makes it worse because like you just read like so much information. So I feel like for every mom that's trying to run a business, the first place is really think about it. Like, what is your mission statement? Like, how do you want to run things in your home? And it's okay. Like how you want to do it, it's how you want to do it. Don't let anyone tell you right or wrong. And then secondly, is like really getting clear on your goals. Like, what are your goals? What are your core values? Once you can hone your goals and your core values, they're actually two different things, because your core values is like things that are fundamental to you. It's what makes you you. Once you figure those things out, then it's easier. I'm saying this from experience because I thought my goals would still be the same before I had a baby. I thought my core values shouldn't change. But then when I had a baby, I had to revisit all of that and tweak things and say, okay, things have changed. It's not just the weight that has changed. A lot of things, have changed now that you become a mom. And that's the thing we need to allow ourselves to really evaluate.
Yeah, and I think it's just it goes back to that flexibility of knowing that things change and they evolve, and you're allowed to change and you're allowed to evolve, and you don't have to always do what you always did, the way you always did it.
Right.
Yeah. So what are some of the ways that you found that helps you find balance between, being a mom and still able to operate your business and be profitable?
I think the number one thing that really helped me is I had to embrace my personality. So we're all different. Like the way we use our time is different. I mean, that's why you see some people that are morning people, like they can work. I had a 5 a.m. call with someone this morning and they looked so happy and ready to start the day. I wasn't looking too happy because I didn't want to be there at 5 a.m. So we have the morning people, you have the night owls. So just embracing who you are. And then when you're a mom, then it comes down to the question of, can you kind of move your plans for your day to cater to who you are? So that's like the number one thing that I found, like embrace who you are. And then you can move on to using tools like my number one recommendation is usually time blocking for a mom. Just block out time, do what you need to do, move to the next block. So those are the two main things that can really help you to find that balance that you're looking for, right?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it's so easy to try to do what everyone else is doing and what we see other people doing. But, coming back to who you are and who we are, I mean, we're all so different. So we all shouldn't be running our businesses the same way.
Yeah. And even up to the tools that we use in our business as well. Because I work with a lot of moms and I see moms that have like this really fancy planners. I get it. It looks good. But the question is, would you use it? Is it going to be the planner you start off the year with all the stickers and then before the end of the first month, you're done? I mean, mom, we try to get on the latest trends because we think that that's the solution. But really just taking time to figure out like, what kind of person are you? Like for me, all I use is my phone. because everything I do, it's on Google and it's on my phone. I don't have a planner. I don't have any other fancy stuff because that's what works for me. But for another mom, it could be different. So it's still related to what you're saying in trying to embrace yourself in every aspect of your home, in your home, and in your business as well. And not forgetting the fact that you're an entrepreneur. I mean, you call the shots. You can decide on your working hours and all of that. So you're a CEO now.
Yeah, I love that. Recently, a couple years ago, we started homeschooling and we had to go through that, the same thing, like recognizing, how do we work best? How do the kids learn best? How do I work best? And, giving ourselves permission that we don't have to start our day at 7:30 like the public schools do. So one of my favorite things about homeschooling my kids is our mornings are not chaotic like they used to be. I let the kids wake up when they wake up. We don't really have a set time. I mean, everyone's usually up by 8 or 9 o'clock. We're not usually a super late family anyway, but, letting them just wake up, eat breakfast, get dressed, and then we start our day. And we're not super rushed about that.
Wow.
So I love that, but, that's not for everyone. Some homeschool families, they would rather do stuff in the evenings because that's when they are thriving. So just paying attention to your own energy is so important. And you don't have to do it like everyone else is doing it.
I agree with you on that one. And I just think like as moms, sometimes maybe it's a little hard for us to reconnect back to ourselves because we're always giving. And, we don't even check on ourselves. Like, how are you feeling? How do you feel about this? Do you really like this? Or you just found out that that's probably what your mom did or a friend did. So just going back to reconnecting with ourselves, like, what do I really like? What do I really want from my family? What do I really enjoy doing? I've had moms in my coaching program where they cook the things the kids love. That's okay. And then I ask the question, what do you love? And then there's just this silence thinking, what do I love? It's okay to cook what you love. And yeah, get the kids fed, but before you know it, you might lose yourself in giving and being there and just stretching yourself. And sometimes you don't even recognize yourself anymore. So taking a few moments to reconnect back to yourself. What do I love? What is new about me? Because you're not just a mom, but you're also getting older as well. So your preferences would have changed. So it's okay to say, hey, like what you did and said, okay, forget about the virtual assistant. We're going in a different direction. It's okay to say that, but it's not a lot of moms that feel comfortable doing that. So I think you're amazing, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So that is something that I've seen as well with the moms that I work with. Usually I focus on self-care piece. And, a lot of times, especially the moms who have been moms for 10, they have 15-year-olds, a lot of times they can't tell you what they love. They can't tell you what their hobbies actually are because they're like, well, I don't know. They've been doing what their family needs them to do for so long. They've completely lost who they are before they became a mom, who they are on the inside. It's just so important to be able to connect with yourself, taking that mom hat off, taking the entrepreneur hat off and realizing who are you, at your core.
I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you do to you're able to recharge your own battery?
I feel like my number one thing is sleep. Like I do not compromise on my sleep. Like even if I don't get enough, like even if I wake up, before the time I'm supposed to get up, I just stay there and be quiet so no one knows I'm awake because sleep is really, really important. So that's my number one. And then number two is lately, it's weird. Like during the lockdown, I've been asking myself, like, what would I love to do now? Do I want to learn something new? So I picked up the game of golf just because I don't know what I'm doing, but I do it. And it's amazing just getting out there in the fresh air and just learning something new and laughing at myself again. So that was good. So yeah, so that's the new thing I'm doing right now and I'm enjoying it.
Oh, nice. I love that, and sometimes when we learn a new skill, you think that wouldn't apply to your business, but I'm sure that you're going to get new ideas and new inspiration while you're out, on the golf course, and you'll be able to, you'll just have all this newness, you'll be able to add to your business.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, that happened a couple of times. I'm like, okay, I got some ideas. And then also having adult conversations. That was good. Just talking to an adult, nothing to do with babies and children. That was good as well. So
yeah, sometimes it's just like getting outside of our regular routine that can just like spark, something in us,
Yeah. And I think the tough one too is because most moms are in business, they run their business from home. So you're at home with the kids and you're home running your business. And you have tons of friends you're talking to virtually. But if you're not careful, you don't have friends around you, right? So you're doing calls like we're doing. And it's good to have the human connection and just dress up and go out. That's good as well.
Yeah, I find myself, whenever I am like in a funk and I don't even want to get dressed and go anywhere, but if I make myself, I realize that was the exact thing that I needed.
Wow. Well, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just a lot of times the thing that we're resisting the most is actually the thing that we're needing the most.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Do you have any kind of a support system?
Okay, not here where I live. I actually have most of my family in the US. So what I do is in the summer, well, not this summer. In the summer, we all go down there. So I always look forward to that. Because I've moved to Canada, I don't know a lot of friends, but I do get the kids involved in a lot of things that happen in the community or at school. She does play dates and all of that. But my main one is when I go on holiday or if my mom comes to visit. Sometimes she stays for like 3 months, which is usually a blessing. So, yeah. So I make sure I do that at least once a year so I can get that break.
Wow, that's so nice. That is a nice break. I wanted to ask you, I know you work with moms primarily. So if a woman is getting ready to start a new business or she's brand new in business, what are some of the things that you think that she should really focus in on to really get her foot in the ground?
Yeah, I feel the number one, which I would say is a time management. Like I always say, carve out your working hours. Even if it's just 2 hours you have in a day that you can do your work, that's fine. Even if it's just 1 hour. But carve it out, protect it like it's gold, and let everybody know that those are your working hours. So that's the first step. And then decide on whatever business you want to do. Don't stall and wait on it because never think something is not relevant. I was actually talking to a friend of mine about a video that was on YouTube. It was about making face masks. And this video was made almost 10 years ago. I was saying to a friend of mine, I was like, I can imagine when the person was, making the video and doing how to sew a face mask. Who wanted to get a face mask 10 years ago, right? But
Right.
now it has like millions of views because a lot of people are looking for that right now. So my belief when it comes to starting a business is, especially if you know that you have a gift that you want to share with the world, just put it out there. It might be a gift that it looks like no one needs right now, but you putting it out there means that you allow people to have access to it when the time comes. So that is important. Even if you're running your business, it looks like nothing is happening. You've put it out there, give it time. It would definitely grow. And number 3 is my belief is moms are the best CEOs. If you can run a home, you can run a business. So go for it.
That is so true because moms, they are masters at multitasking. They are masters at having multiple irons in the fire, multiple projects going, and being able to just manage it all and have those routines in place. And even as a new mom, you kind of learn as you go. So,
yeah, that's the big one. I think we're the queen of figuring it out. Your baby's crying, everyone's looking at you like, why is she crying? Well, I don't know, but you will figure it out. So that's the same way with business as well. You get started, things happen, you would definitely figure it out because you have it in you to do it. So.
Yeah, I think that was part of, what I did best was I didn't always have all the answers. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to figure it out as I go. And, because if we wait, we end up in regret that, we should have just went for it because, 2 years down the road, you don't know any more than what you did 2 years ago, but, and now you're kicking yourself that you're not further along. So just jump in and figure it out as you go.
Yeah, and you'll be fine.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited. Do you have any resources that you could offer? I'm sure you have some.
Okay. I think the number one resource, because I've been talking about personality, is I do have a time management personality test on my website. So if you go to www.momleader.com/your superpower, and there you can just answer a couple of questions. You will get the answers sent to your email. And right now, I've set it up in a way that when you get the answers, you can also book like a free 30 minutes call with me. But even if you don't do the call, just find out who you are by taking that quiz. And there's just so much gold in there that will really help you with your day. So yeah, that's my number one resource, the personality test.
Awesome. So momleader.com is your website. Where else can they find you?
So I'm on Instagram at Mom Leader Movement. So that's Mom Leader Movement. On Facebook at I Am a Mom Leader. And then I do have a YouTube channel, which is Mom Leader TV. And every week I release new videos on there.
Mom Leader TV on YouTube. Awesome. Awesome. So if you are struggling with time management and being able to prioritize the most important tasks in your business, definitely go follow Nike and become that mom leader. Did you love this episode? I would love to connect with you and hear all of your ahas. Do me a favor, take a screenshot right now. Tag me on IG your biggest takeaway. You can find the podcast at momsinbiz_podcast. And if you haven't joined the party yet, we are hanging out over on Facebook. We have a private group called Moms in Business, and this group is all about connection, community, and collaboration. So if you haven't joined us yet, please do come over and join in on the conversation.